It is cold outside. Ooh, that means it's the perfect time to play one of my favorite winter games. Hot cocoa? No. It's super easy to explain, but hard to win if you're not paying attention. I'll show you several cups of delicious hot cocoa. One of these cups will not be so delicious, though, because it's made with salt instead of sugar. The cups will then get shuffled up, but your challenge will be to keep your eye on the salty cup. Think you can do it? Great! Let's get started. Okay, shout out 1, 2, or 3 if you think you know which cup is definitely a no-no. Great job, everyone! Let's try another one. This one will be a little faster. Whoa, that was fast. Did you keep track of the salty cocoa? If so, shout it out. 1, 2, or 3 if you think you know which cup it is. Woo-hoo, well done! Let's try another one. This time with 4 cups of cocoa. That was definitely a little more challenging. Shout out the number if you think you know which cup it is. Nice job! Now, let's try it again, but this time, the cups are gonna move a little faster. Okay, that was pretty tricky. Did you keep your eye on the cup? If so, shout it out. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Way to go! That was impressive, but what happens if we add in 1 more cup of cocoa? Wowzers! Does anybody know which cup has the salt in it? Shout it out if you know it. Nice job. Can you keep your eye on the cup if they're going crazy fast? Oh my! I think we might have spilled some cocoa on that one. Does anybody know which one is the salty cup? Wow! Anybody who could keep their eye on that one must really love hot cocoa. Great job, everybody.
Hi, everybody. This month, we've looked at a lot of different ways that we can show self-control. We've seen stories in the Bible of people who showed self-control in some pretty tough situations, haven't we? We've seen how important it is that we stay in control so we don't hurt other people. We've already looked at some of the famous sayings of one of the wisest people who've ever lived. His name is King Solomon. You see, Solomon had to mention self-control quite a few times, like this verse in Proverbs 25, verse 16. He says, "If you find honey, eat just enough. If you eat too much of it, you're gonna throw up." Gross, right? I bet you weren't expecting that in the Bible, were you? I don't think I'd have a problem eating too much honey. But then again, I think Solomon was talking about more than just what we eat. He was talking about the wisdom of knowing when to stop and choosing to have self-control. A little bit of honey is great, but you don't want to have too much of a good thing, do you? You see, it can be tough to have self-control when it comes to the things that we really love, like music, great food, movies, games, or whatever you're into. But it's important that we choose to have self-control so we don't have too much of a good thing. We have to pay attention to our bottom line. It says this: know when to stop. Know when to stop. If you find yourself thinking about the same thing all the time or sneaking around to do it, it might be a clue that you need to press stop. Ask someone you trust to help you see what that might be for you. It could be anything like watching too much TV, playing on your device or your tablet, eating too much junk food, you name it. You can ask God to help you make the wise choice and give you the strength to stop before you've had too much. And remember, when you choose to follow Jesus, you have the power of the Holy Spirit. It's like what we read in our memory verse. In 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3, it says this: God's power has given us everything we need to lead a godly life. In our story today, Adeline and Zeke are going to let us in on a really good lesson about how too much of a good thing is not always good. So hang out with us as we see how they learn the benefits of self-control. Check it out.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. And you have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. And you have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Your fault, still your love fought for me. And you have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. And you have been so, so kind to me. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve
Hey guys, it's me, Jacob. Sorry, I was just watching an episode of The Metal Mania. 1 second, it's almost over. No, Metal Mania, don't go through that door. Oh, that's it? It's over?
What will happen to the Metal
Come
Manian?
on.
Will he live to fight another day? Find out now on the next episode of The Metal
Oh, I can
Manian.
watch it now, yes! I mean, I can't watch it right now because I have to, I get to talk to you about self-control. Self-control is choosing to do what you should, even when you don't want to. Sorry, I love that show. But I feel like every episode is a cliffhanger that just makes you want to watch another one and another one. You know how cliffhangers are. Or maybe you call them nail biters. But you can't watch TV all the time because you gotta find self-control in your life. Watch out, Melomanian! Sorry, that was just a really cool part. Okay, I'm good now. No more binge watching. No more distractions. I am here for you. You have my complete and utter attention. I have to know. And no, but I must, but I can't. Boy, this is gonna be harder than I thought. No. In today's story, we'll learn about what happens when you have too much of a good thing.
Will Jacob be able to resist the Metal Manian? Will he learn a lesson about self-control? Find out in the next few minutes.
I sure hope so.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 16.
Adeline and her younger brother Zeke had been waiting weeks for this particular Saturday.
It's here! Yes Day!
Every year, their parents declared a yes day, where they would say yes to anything Adeline and Zeke wanted to do, with a few rules.
We're not spending more than $15 each on anything other than meals.
And we're not doing anything that could hurt you or anyone else.
Can we have donuts for breakfast?
Yes.
And ice cream?
Yes!
With whipped cream and gummy bears?
Yep.
Yes!
Fueled by this sugar rush, Zeke and Adeline had energy to burn.
Can we have a family water battle? Kids against parents.
Absolutely.
The kids' super soakers were beating their parents' water balloons until Dad busted out the water hose.
Hey, you can't use the house!
Yes to everything!
Okay, fine. Pizza from Pisano's for lunch. And monster cookies. Can I make them all by myself, please, please, please?
Yes and yes.
Dad and Adeline rode scooters to the store to get cookie ingredients,
Yes!
while Mom and Zeke took bikes to get pizza.
Oh, yeah!
Pretty sure that me riding a scooter half a mile is gonna hurt someone. Probably me.
It's sidewalk the whole way, Dad.
Back at home, Adeline concocted the monster cookies with all the add-ins.
Chocolate chips, M&Ms, peanut butter, toffee bits, candy corn, crushed pretzels.
Sure that's gonna taste okay?
Yes.
When the giant cookies were out of the oven and cooled, everyone had to agree.
These are actually amazing.
Zeke and Mom could only give thumbs up as they chewed. After lunch, Dad and Zeke said yes to an epic battle of Ultra Luigi together, while Mom said yes to a nap. Adeline planned to say yes to a new episode of Super Chef Junior, but as she was leaving the kitchen, she paused and looked back at the plate of monster cookies.
They did turn out awesome.
It almost seemed as if those gooey cookies were calling her name.
Adeline. Adeline. Well, it is yes day.
Adeline grabbed another cookie for now and one for while she watched Super Chef Jr. When Adeline finished her episode and the cookies, she passed through the kitchen to find Zeke and Dad.
Yes?
The cookies seemed to smile at her with candy-coated faces.
Well, yes, just one more.
In the rec room, Dad and Zeke were still battling it out.
Hey, sis, you want to play?
Adeline wanted to say yes, but her stomach felt a little queasy, and the flashing screen made her head spin.
I'll just sit this one out.
Don't suppose you could bring us a couple of those incredible cookies?
Sure.
In the kitchen, Adeline put 2 giant cookies on a paper plate.
Okay, fine.
Even though her stomach didn't feel great, Adeline just couldn't resist that wonderful, chewy cookie bite and candy crunch. She finished off yet another cookie on her way down to the rec room.
Here you go.
Thanks, sweetie. Hey, are you okay?
Adeline grabbed her stomach as it churned. Her mouth felt sour.
Yes. No.
Adeline sat down quickly on the sofa, but the storm in her stomach grew. She bolted off of the sofa and headed straight for the bathroom. It didn't take long for all those cookies, not to mention pizza, ice cream, and donuts to come right back up. Dad rushed in to help.
Oh, sweetie, I know we've said yes to a lot of sugar today, but just how many cookies did you eat?
I'm not sure. Too many.
Whoa, that is seriously disgusting.
Mom was right behind Zeke.
Adeline,
I'm feeling better now, Mom. Honest, just too many cookies.
Once they were back in the rec room, Dad shook his head.
You're a walking proverb.
You mean Proverbs in the Bible?
Sure. There's this great one that says, if you find honey, eat just enough. If you eat too much of it, you will throw up.
Oh, true story.
Ew, did you put honey in the cookies?
No, it doesn't have to be honey. It can be anything.
I was going to ask what everyone wants for dinner, but
Toast, applesauce.
affirmative.
I guess sometimes you gotta say no, even on yes day.
Adeline's yes day hadn't gone quite the way she imagined, but at least she discovered a new skill to work on, knowing when to stop.
Sometimes when it comes to self-control, you need a little help. That should do it. King Solomon wrote, "If you find honey, eat just enough. If you eat too much of it, you will throw up." You notice that Solomon didn't write that there was anything wrong with eating honey, but you can have too much of a good thing. You have to know when stop. This isn't just true with honey either. For some people, they can't stop playing video games. Jump, dive, collect extra health. Some people can't stop eating sweets. For some people, it can even be sports. Okay, I got soccer at 9. I got hockey at 10. Boxing after that. Right before lunch, I'm gonna get some football in. After lunch, I'm gonna get some baseball in. Cornhole, pickleball, jujitsu. Now, none of those things are bad things by themselves. But if you don't know when to stop, even good things can get out of hand. If you find yourself thinking about that something all the time, it could be a clue that you need to stop. If you find yourself sneaking behind somebody's back so you can just watch one more video or eat just one more cookie, you might need to stop. If you're not sure what that something is for you, ask someone you can trust to help you see it and maybe even help you stop. The one thing to remember today is this: know when to stop. This is a tough one, but remember, Self-control is a fruit of the Spirit. The Holy Spirit will give you some help when you choose to follow Jesus. You don't have to experience these nail biters on your own. I'm still looking forward to watching more of my show. But I think I'll wait until tomorrow at the very least. And if you need any help knowing when to stop, take it from me. You're gonna need a lot of duct tape. I'll see you next time.
What can you control? A paintbrush, a video game, a basketball, a drone. Oh, a mixer. Yikes. All of these things can be a little tricky to control, but with practice, you can get really good. But you know what's the toughest thing to control? You. Some days it feels like your thoughts, your words, and your actions are all running away with you. But with God's help, you can learn to control you. It starts with inviting God into your thoughts, planting His words in your heart, stopping to think before you speak, choosing to reflect before you act. Through the power of God's Spirit, you can speak and act in a way that shows love to others and to God. You can choose every day to live His way. That's why showing self-control is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.